Hi guys, welcome to my podcast. Did I just overshare? So finally, we have a title. I'm excited for the title, and I came up with the title after the first episode because I struggled a lot to try and find a title. I mean, I even used my friend ChatGPT. Yeah, we had a moment where I just searched of possible titles that I can use based on all the things that I enjoy, all the things that I like. I know I like coffee, I like coffee shops, I like conversations, I like thinking, and I'm an overthinker. So yeah, I wanted to use any of those and I checked and I was struggling to find like something that really resonated with what I'm trying to do here and also something that resonated with you so that after you hear it, you feel a certain way. And that was the whole point of actually doing this, having a community, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable and to feel things, right? So after the first episode where I was sharing how I grew up, who I am, where I'm from, and what type of child I was growing up, I had a moment where when my producer was editing, I was like, did I just overshare? Like, did I just say too many things? And was I supposed to have said that? Will people understand what I meant with that? And I felt that and I was like, okay, this would be a great title because this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be vulnerable. I'm trying to let you guys in to tell my story authentically and truthfully so. And sometimes it will involve a lot of oversharing. And I feel that as people, when you meet someone and you get comfortable with them, you tend to just run off and you tell them things about yourself and you tell them things that happened to you, how they made you feel. And right after that, you go, damn, did I really say that? Was I supposed to have said that? So it's something that's very common. And I mean, if you're a fellow oversharer, don't be shy and don't be ashamed. Welcome home. You are home right now with me because I'm also exactly that type of person. So you get that feeling and it makes you feel embarrassed. But more than anything, what I've realized, it's a moment for you to connect. It's a moment for you to share something that you have in common with somebody, to build a community of people that are comfortable with each other, that like each other, that also can learn from each other. Because sometimes you're talking to somebody and maybe that person has been through something that you have been through, or they're currently going through a similar thing, or maybe in 2 days, 3 days, the exact same thing will happen to them. And having heard somebody else's story, having heard how the person felt through the experience, how they dealt with the experience, really helps you develop a community and have people that you can also go to and reference and be like, hey, I remember you saying you had to go to a job interview and this is what happened. I have a job interview. Can you maybe like give me some pointers or tips or let me know what went wrong, right? And the person will be vulnerable enough to overshare and tell their side and how they felt. And that's the type of space that I'm trying to create. So also just to make it fun, I want you guys to share a moment where you felt like you overshared and you met somebody. You don't have to go into the detail of exactly what the topic was, but you can just tell us a little bit where you were, what was happening, and how you felt exactly after that. Because I want us to make that normal, because it is normal. We are building community, we are building friendships, and it's going to take some sense of vulnerability and honesty with people and being embarrassed for you to actually relate and be comfortable with people. Right? So let's get into our first topic. So our first topic is just me giving context as to where I am now in my life. I did give a background of where I'm coming from, and I did highlight a bit that I just recently completed my master's and I feel like I don't want to study. I don't want to go back to studying again. Maybe in the future I will do a PhD. I don't know, guys. That stuff is traumatic, but don't ask about it just because I brought it up, please. But so I just wanted to talk about where I am now, what's currently happening in my life, and how I found myself to be in front of you right now. So firstly, I finished my master's studies last year. And when I was finished with my studies, I was so excited to finally relax because it was a hectic 3 years. It was difficult. It was stressful. I had to sacrifice a lot of relationships, a lot of friendships, a lot of family time just to be able to achieve this big achievement. And I found myself constantly stressed and constantly busy. So I was excited that finally I don't owe anyone any submission. I don't have to get anxious when an email comes in. There's no Word document that needs to be edited and things added. And my brain doesn't constantly have to be running on how am I going to solve this problem that I'm facing in my studies and things like that. So the first 3 months, I was super hyper and I was super excited to just relax, to binge watch, to read, to do all the things that I necessarily didn't have time for. I know, to visit family, to go talk to them, find out what's happening in their lives and things like that. And it was finally a whew. And also because I was so relaxed, I was applying for a lot of jobs. So I was looking for jobs that I've always dreamed of, that I heard that I could succeed in, and also that people that studied something that's similar to me actually are working in right now. And I did that, and I did a CV, and I was so excited, and it was such a good space for me to be in. But then unfortunately, the rejection letters kept on coming in. And when they came in, slowly but surely, the realities started hitting me that, will I be able to get a job? Will I be a functional member of society as what is expected? Will I be able to buy the car that I wanted to buy, the house that I want to have, the clothes that I want to have? Like the life that I had dreamed myself living, it felt like it was going further and further and further away from me, which was, it was getting stressful because also I had this notepad on my phone that I started, and I would write every time I applied for a job, and then I'd scratch it out every time I got a rejection, right? And it is sad to say 6 months in, because we're going into our 6th month now of the year, and I'm still under the statistics of unemployed graduate. I know I started because it's hard to say, and it really, yeah, it hurts my heart. Like it's something very personal, and it's something that I didn't think, as someone with a master's qualification, I would struggle with. So I find myself in that situation, and I find myself getting very stressed out, losing some hope, starting to feel like, but then what's my point of being here? Like, what do I do every day? What do I live for? What do I go for? And what do I want in my life? And if I want that, am I even going to get it? And I think the worst rejection that left me stressed and left me in pain and left me questioning everything was my Miss South Africa entry, right? So Miss South Africa is something that I've always wanted as a child since I started modeling. I think I started modeling primary school, those competitions. I was in grade 3. I entered the school competition, and then from then on, it's something that I really loved and I enjoyed. I did it well into my teenage years, and Miss South Africa was always the end goal. It was always like, this is the final pageant I'm going to do, and I'm going to win it, and I'm going to be impactful. I'm going to give back to my community in a larger scale, and I'm going to do these big things. And it was the end goal, right? And now I've been applying for those jobs, and I've been getting rejected, and I'm like, oh damn, there'll be another one, there'll be another one, there'll be another one. So with this Miss South Africa, I went all out. I prepared mentally, made sure I looked good, made sure I sounded good, and I stepped forward, and I did it after entering for almost the past 6 years. And when I got that rejection, for me, it felt like all my dreams were somewhat invalid or not seen or not heard, and it hit my confidence rock bottom. Like, I don't want to lie, it was a horrible time for me and a horrible space. And this is something that happened 3 weeks ago, right? I know I look happy, but I'm dealing. So it was that moment where I felt the rejection hit me, and that nothing was going right and nothing was happening for me. And for me, my community was supportive, right? They're like, no, things will look up. We'll try again next year. We'll keep trying, and we'll keep going. And you know those quotes where they say rejection is God's protection, or rejection is redirection, and those are true. All of those are true, and I know people mean well, but it led me to holding in everything inside, because I felt like I had to be strong, and I had to take in what people were saying as factual, and everything will be fine. And it put me in such a dark space that I think one day I just woke up and I just broke. I just cried, and I felt alone, and it felt dark, and it felt quiet. And then it took a moment for me to realize, I feel like as people, we mean well to give people positive quotes and positive messages, but I think to some extent, it takes away from people's ability to mourn, to accept the pain and to accept what they're going through, in a sense that acknowledging it and seeing it for what it is. Because at the end of the day, it hurts, regardless of whether tomorrow is going to be better or not. Right now, I'm in pain, and right now, I feel a certain way. And I think I needed that space. And it took for me to be in a moment of just accepting everything, for me to be like this again, for me to try again, and for me to do different things. Because then I was trying to be strong. I was trying to hold on and be like, yeah, next time, let me keep applying, let me keep doing this, let me keep going, and using the powerful quotes and stuff. But it wasn't working for me mentally and emotionally at all. And it was hindering me from actually existing fully as a person, because all I wanted to do was be alone and be my own space. Because I felt like when I went outside, people expected a certain version of me, and it was hard to keep up and to keep up that version, right? So for me right now, I'm in that space where I'm accepting the rejections. I'm accepting the things that I thought would have happened by now that didn't happen, that this is where I am right now, and I'm still looking for a job. But at the same time, I'm still embracing the time that I'm in, and I'm doing what I can in the space that I'm currently in. I mean, this moment and this podcast is something that I'm reigniting dreams that I had growing up that didn't seem realistic at that time, because I needed to go to school and I needed to study. So while I'm on this break, or while I'm having a bit of time, I can actually follow those dreams, and I can actually reinvest in things that I enjoyed doing, in things that I'm good at, and in things that I love, right? And hence we are here right now, and I'm having a podcast and I'm talking to you because I'm reinvesting in myself, and I'm acknowledging and accepting the space that I'm in, and I'm dealing with the rejection in a way that I'm giving myself space to mourn, to be sad. I'm giving myself space to just have moments of anger. If I need to be angry at God, to have a moment with him and just say, but I thought our path was this way. We spoke, I did this because I thought this is where we were heading, right? And then also having moments of trusting him, to say that even after yelling at him and being angry at him, me saying, but I trust you. I trust where you're taking me, and I listen out for you. I mean, I constantly ask to make my spirit sensitive to hearing where I need to be and what I need to be doing, when I need to be doing it. And that's me just every time I'm sitting and I want to try something, I'm like, hey, why don't I try it? Another thing that I tried out is the fact that I've been doing modeling for quite a while, like I said, growing up. And I'm thinking of doing a private coaching thing where I coach, I coach younger people to into modeling, them preparing for a pageant, interview skills, walking skills, styling techniques, how to style themselves, and how to speak on a stage and everything. So I sent out a poster of that, and I did get a few replies here and there, and I spoke to a few people. So that is also something that I'm doing in the meantime. I'm also still applying for jobs. I'm doing a lot of photo shoots that are brilliant, that are beautiful. So I'm in front of the camera again, which is something that I also love. Finding a way to get back on stage, because I enjoy emceeing and I enjoy talking to large groups and large communities. And I'm also working on getting back on stage and doing that in the meantime. And I'm also finding peace in where I am. So that is where I am currently. And I'm hoping that I continue on this path, and I'm hoping that it's looking great. So I did get a bit hope. My hope is back. I did get a bit more of being hopeful and finding a purpose, finding things to do every day that make me happy. So those little moments that will make my day worth it, and also those little moments that will make it worth it. Like when I wake up, because when you wake up and you don't have a plan, it's hard to get out of bed, because you ask yourself, like, what's the point of it all? But when I have little things that I enjoy planned for the day, I get excited to get out of bed because I know I'm going to do something that I love. I'm going to do something that I enjoy. I mean, I also play sports. I play netball. So that's also something that I look forward to, knowing that, okay, today I've got netball practice. Let me get up. Let me prepare dinner early because I know later I have to play netball and things like that. So if there's anyone that's going through something that I'm going through, I would say just try to fill your day with things that you enjoy, be it cooking, baking, getting dressed up, watching podcasts that are uplifting, that will motivate you, that will also teach you something. So I know also learning a new skill is something that keeps me going. So you could also learn a new skill, practice makeup on yourself, do nails, do hair. Those type of things keep you going and they keep you sharp. And then by the time you do get that job that you've been dreaming of, you're sharp and you're ready to go and you're ready to work because you've been doing that and practicing that. So yeah, and give yourself time to accept what's happening. Give yourself time to be angry, to be sad, and to just go through the emotions. And as a community of people, I think also give them the space to be angry and to be sad. As a friend, give them the space to vent and give them the space to just exist without throwing in codes or throwing in you'll be fine, because that's to some extent makes you feel like you're being disregarded, and what you're feeling, it's you being ungrateful or you're being hopeless. And yeah, it just makes the person feel like I shouldn't be feeling like this, which is also another way to making the situation worse, right? So yeah, but thank you for coming. I'm excited for this coming up journey. I'm excited for the new version of me, for starting something new, for taking the old again and like making it beautiful and making it what it is now. Because this has always been me. This has always been what I liked, what I enjoyed. And I guess what? It's my journey back to self. Yes, let's call it that. Thank you so much. And I look forward to hearing about your moments of did I just overshare? How you felt? Where were you? Who was it? And did it actually lead to like a connection? Are you guys friends now? When you see each other, do you greet each other? And did it make you feel better after knowing that I let it out? And yeah, so thank you very much. See you soon again.